Human beings, pets, extra-dimensional visitors from other worlds, time travelers, aliens in general. I want to welcome you all. Thanks for tuning in, whoever or wherever you may have come from. You're welcome here, and I'm Hambbage, your host. We're going to play some hardcore vanilla Minecraft, and let's get it going, huh? All right. Checking the mic levels, that we get that slide out of the way. Run, coward, I hunger. Well, if you're hungry, I recommend a slow cooker. Yes, that's right. The crock pot or your Kleenex to my tissue. Um, we're going to cook up some adventure here today, I hope, and get out into the world. So one thing that we had left out is a reminder at the end of the last session was to hopefully, I've got a bucket, good, was to run down and just try to make a spare ender chest. Now, this is just protection against my own stupidity, really. When we go out wandering and venturing in the world, one of the things that we kind of want to protect ourselves against is, or what I've been on the wrong side of in the past, you're going along, everything is great, life couldn't be better. You know, you've got cool gear, spares of everything, all set, and then it starts getting dark on, say day 10 of your adventure when you're just about to turn back, and you realize that you picked up your bed and managed to put it back in your ender chest, but you completely neglected to pick up the ender chest as you were going. And so while none of that stuff is gone or lost, you don't have any access to it. And that can be a real bummer when you're a long way from home. So as I try to point out with so many things in this game, and really, I mean, it's a pretty good thought mentality or mental state to have in life in general, is try to have a contingency there. We're just gonna go around this loop here. I mean, we've got 8 already, but we'll fill in these couple. And then be off. So, how's everybody doing? I hope you are well. I know I am. I'm certainly feeling better. Let me tell you guys, as any watchers of the previous videos know, the last, what, 3? Did we do 3 yesterday? Honestly, I can't even remember. We did a bunch of videos yesterday, and that was the day after I got my second dose of the COVID vaccine. So, very happy to have that. But as everybody knows, that there's a little bit of a curve of feeling the effect feeling your body take on that effect. Effectively, it's, I don't know how to describe it really in the best terms for, kind of the way I look at it. But I think it's fair to say that when you're doing that, it's kind of like when you have an irritation to get a desired result. And so here's a good one. It's probably been used a million times. I've probably heard it somewhere. But for people that may not know, and by the way, I think let's just double check our packing. I want to make sure. Let's, while we're here, one more thing. Sorry, I'll talk more in a bit here. So yeah, this is very, very commonly used. I see you, Skelly. Very commonly used analogy, maybe, for anything where you have to kind of suffer an adverse effect to get something positive, and that is the natural formation of pearls. Um, if you didn't know, pearls come out of clams in the ocean, right? And they're largely a byproduct of inside the little shell. If a central little grain or piece of grit gets in there, it causes an irritation, and the organism, you just call that a clam. I don't know. Again, I'm kind of pressing my scientific knowledge here, but if it's I don't know, invertebrate or whatever, but it's a. Are they all mollusks of some kind? Whatever. Um, the clam that's gonna eventually. Oh, oops, forgot one other thing. The clam that's eventually gonna make another pearl or a pearl is living inside its shell, and as a result of something negative, i.e., getting some grit or dirt or whatever inside its shell, it will just. I don't know if these. Okay, so we need one more. Um, it will just continue to layer, these secretions around it, and those are what then harden into the smooth and iridescent round shape of a pearl. A little bit like a snow. Snowflakes, I think, are the kind of the same deal, right? In the upper atmosphere, a little speck of dust or whatever, gets a central anchor for water to condense, and then it begins to freeze, and the water molecules all jump in that crystalline pattern. So, it's a similar type stuff here. This isn't attempting to be a scientific analysis of pearls or snowflakes, but hopefully enough to get the point across here that we can get cool things or beneficial things from that bit of irritation. And so a vaccine is largely doing the same thing. You're introducing an irritation into your body. The irritation being, and again, I don't know I haven't really gone into the makeup of the various vaccines, how they're similar or different, but for most vaccines, they are using dead strains of a virus, introducing them into your body so that they can't make you sick, but your body's immune system recognizes that they're a virus. There's enough information in it for your T cells. I don't know. Don't listen to that. But for cells as a part of your immune system to gain kind of think of it as like a fingerprint, right? They then recognize the fingerprint of that particular virus if it should come back into your body again. And because they've encountered it once, there's an increased resilience to it. And, that's all the talk that's going on about mutation of the virus and all that. I mean, I think anybody that's school-aged at this point, you very likely have, any teacher who hasn't kind of, okay, we're expanding the curriculum a bit to talk about this because it's a big deal going on in the world. That people have different opinions about whether people should or should not vaccinate, all that kind of stuff. But learning the science behind it, I think, is entirely worthy. So that's the poor non-scientific just gloss over. You're giving a little taste to your body that shouldn't make you sick, and allowing your immune system to then recognize and already have a more finely tuned response against it. With the weakened dose that's given in the vaccine, your body has more of a chance. It may go through some trial and error. Hey, this, it seems as though we've got something that could make us sick. Let's try this, and this. And as we've seen, the reason why it's a pandemic is none of those things to this point in the human, overall immune system just shut it down automatically. There was a lot of hype early on in the pandemic that I think there was a woman who gave birth and she'd had it, and the baby like resisted it or shut it down. And that was kind of a significant deal. Have we been to this ship? I'm guessing we have, but we'll kind of cut off here. As soon as I get done talking about vaccines and whatnot, we'll talk more about our journey here. Not that we're just going adventuring. That's the plan today. So anyway, yeah, you're intentionally firing up an immune system response whenever you get a vaccine. That's the idea behind it, is to kind of give a head start on how your body. Ooh, it is a new ship. How your body can fight these things off. So, woohoo! So, very worthwhile, and from in my perspective at least, I was thrilled to finally get that and be. Oh, that's a window, not a door. Again, kind of becomes more comical when you got respiration 3. You can just kind of bounce around in here. And, oh, I'm lost. I'm stuck. We can even do the swimming position. Enter the room. Not have to worry too much about getting stuck. I don't think. Famous last words. So yeah, a couple days ago now, I'd gotten my second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. And like I said, I've been eagerly awaiting that. I'm definitely of the mindset that it's better to have it than not, and whatever potential there is for harm as a result of the vaccine, it's probably not as dire to a otherwise healthy adult than the possibility of a prolonged pandemic to our society and our fellow people. So yeah, again, I'm not trying to. I think it's just a good thing to do, and it's well self-serving, right? It's not heroic or humanitarian or anything like that to get the vaccine. I think it's just common sense, but I understand, and I'm not trying to slam particularly people that have what I would. Maybe this is a bit of a slam anyway. Uh, you know, Depending on your reasons, I think that there are valid circumstances under which not getting a vaccine could be understandable. For me, it wouldn't be. I think if you're a person that doesn't have underlying health concerns, and let's say I don't. I think that some people, at least, some people make it borderline just, being silly, but I think some people have a legitimate, and again, I'm trying to be kind of not too judgy, I guess, because I don't know entirely. I don't know what the spiritual reasons are behind people who have a religious aversion to any vaccines. But anti-vax is a thing, right? We've all likely heard of it. If you haven't, check an internet message board, right? Just say, hey, I think vaccines are good. You'll find out about anti-vaxxing pretty quick. But I think just from my sharing history and a lot of the development of human technology, understanding as we go through this world, and it's just kind of how my lens of viewing a lot of the world is to think about where various things came from, what that might lead to next, to try to put myself in the perspective of people that were living in different times than ours, and not just, judge them based on our impulses, not impulses, I guess, but like preferences, beliefs, that kind of stuff. But I think we've had both of these, but we'll just grab one of each. In fact, I know we've had salmon, right? So let's leave that. So vaccines. I'm glad personally that I got mine. If you do, or if you can, I strongly encourage that you do get it. If you can't, or don't, I would just say, think about why. If it's purely motivated just because a political team is trying to keep you feeling like you're under attack, some of those kind of things, I think that's pretty short-sighted, and I think you can support either side of a political landscape without having to jump in. And that's really been a beef of mine all the way along. Is it's very sad to me when any political action becomes such that, whether it's blaming leaders or seeing that masks are oppressive or something like that. Look, try to apply a filter in your own life to any of those kinds of statements and say, what's more likely here? Is it more likely that that there is a conspiracy to try to keep you from enjoying a good life, or away from a voting booth, whatever. With a concocted version of events on a disease, or is it more likely they're trying to keep you feeling like you're threatened and trying to get your votes? And that's kind of the lens I apply on a lot of that stuff. May not be right, may not be wrong, but when it comes to the health and welfare of other people, I would much rather be on the safe side and say, look, what's the possible greater harm? That I don't get to go to a movie in person for another few months, or that I potentially, don't get to see my grandparents or my parents or something along those lines in the future. So I'm, again, not trying to say that I have any exclusivity on the truth, but my version of that, or my answer to that, is I want to get vaccinated. If for nothing else, then I may be less likely to transmit that to other people in the world that are less able to deal with it than I would be. So I got my vaccine. That's the long roundabout side of that story, and it wasn't too bad. The process itself was easy and pretty great. A little longer lines. I think I talked about this a little bit, but again, remember, I was still kind of fighting my way through the after effects yesterday when we recorded. So, but yeah, I had known going in that they were saying the second round is going to be more noticeable, than the first. And that was fine with me, because the first was practically nothing. My arm was just a little, like if you moved it wrong, you would kind of remember and notice, oh, hey, yeah, I got a shot there the other day. I think I'm facing backwards, maybe? What? Which way are we headed? Okay, this is north. I guess we'll go around this shore. I don't know how far we caught this. We've definitely come back along, but and no, we didn't get a new map there. Okay, never mind. So yeah, yesterday I came on and said, wow, it was significantly more on the second shot than it was on the first. My arm was sore, and I'd woken up with a little bit of a headache, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't like I don't know. I don't know that I've ever had a migraine, but like I've had bad sinus headaches and stuff like that. Wasn't even as bad as any of that. It was just kind of this minor, all right. And I felt it. I was feeling a little bit like, hey man, I got to get up and get going a little bit. So I kind of endured and got through the streaming, and really by the end of the last one, when I was talking about, yeah, I'm not gonna head out on this boat trip. I'm kind of feeling a bit done here. My mind was a little soggier, not as bad as the allergy day, but it still was. It wasn't 100%, but again, you knew going in, your body is creating a immune response to an introduced threat. Okay, that's while we're standing here. So this is our last map, and this is our new map. Different map. Awesome. So and again, if you haven't noticed, I'm kind of skipping the food chests in these boats. Just not something we particularly need. So let's swing west, get our map filled in. And now, is that a temple or a structure? Maybe a structure. Yeah, this is our trident. Oh, wait, must be turned around. This is west? That's west. I don't know how that works. Oh, because we were cutting in along this mountain, and then like the last shipwreck was way over there. Weird. Okay, how are we doing on? Stay a little bit tighter here. So we want to get the lower corner. So, stream wrapped up yesterday, or recording session wrapped up yesterday, and I think it had been just about what I needed. I kept my mind off stuff. Didn't let me just sit there and think about what was going on. Afterwards, I did get up and kind of go out for a quick walk, and wasn't long into it, and the sun was out. I think it had gotten up into the 60s Fahrenheit here, so I was kind of enjoying the being out and about. Now, don't let me forget to complete this map. And while I did that, all of a sudden I was just like chills, going up and down, and it was pretty apparent that I was still feeling stuff, right? I was, kind of low energy, just shuffling along. Like it was nice to be outside, as you guys can tell. I love getting out and being out, looking at the world another great way. And I think just moving helps any of those kinds of situations where you may not be feeling your best, to kind of balance out. All right, this is our spot. Let's shovel down there so we can find it. Let's bed up so we can not die. and then we'll take it on. So yeah, I got up, gone outside, getting moving. Usually that helps, kind of drive out whatever. And I was still kind of looking at this as okay, um, you're through the worst of it. Just wrap it up. Well, again, not being overly concerned, just know what I was going to do it anyway. I didn't dwell a lot on um, the particulars of what can happen. I think that's a good way to kind of set yourself up for a worse time of it, right? If before you get a vaccine, you put into your head a whole list of things that could go wrong because of it, your mind is going to help those come true. So I really, I, I'm an adult. I don't feel that I need to. Sorry, I got those little beady yawns, which is odd. I'll tell you in here in a second. But did I get the? Oh, we're getting there. Let's go out and finish our map before we do anything else. Yeah, so I hadn't looked. I didn't know anything other than yeah, it'll probably be a little worse than the first one. And by and large, that's exactly what my experience was. I didn't anticipate that when I was wrapping up the streaming part yesterday that I was actually just really getting into it as opposed to being almost done with it and kind of getting clear of the whole situation. And so, but it wasn't too bad. After my short little walk, I was back and on the couch. I watched. I was thinking this morning here. I watched. I watched Scarface. Not a movie I'd watched in a long time. Wow. Let's get some air. A lot of you fellas, huh? Not a one of you has a trident, huh? Ooh, gold bar though. Hey, oh, now you're all lonely. What happened to all your friends? Yeah. So I laid on the couch. I watched Scarface. I watched some other movie that I don't even remember right now. I'm sure it'll come to me at some point. And all I remember is like flipping through and being like, I don't want to watch anything else that's like crimey, violent type stuff. So what's it gonna be? And this is what was going on, right? I didn't even come back with a clear impression of whatever it is. Then at some point I kind of said, okay, well, let's get to bed, get some sleep, and I did take it's just the generic version of whatever they are, but like a Tylenol, a Tylenol PM type medication, and that was good. I definitely needed some more better sleep, and I remember getting into bed. I actually picked up an extra blanket, which is huge. I have like a comforter and a sheet on my bed. But typically, I'd rather sleep cool than hot. So it was, okay, that was the first map. It's these two. Got that one. Those are different. This is great. We're going to fill up our inventory here. We've got again the ender chest. We can add a little bit more, but yeah, we're going to be pretty quick on the uptick here. So I think having a map is about as good. If we'd gotten a trident to try, that would have been cool as well. Wait a minute. Is that the... No, not at all. Okay. I hope it's not the same as my first map. Is that the one? Maybe those two are the same? Uh-oh. Those two look the same, right? Before we backtrack here, let's just... Yeah, that's a shame. Well... Mr. Buried Treasure Map. Where did those structures go? That's a shame. I would have liked to have gotten another one of you, but we don't need duplicates, and we certainly don't need to backtrack around around the world here. So at some point along here, we're actually kind of looping underneath the quarry, kind of, you know, the quarry and all that savanna. And have we been here yet? It's just amazing to me that we're cutting in back in so hard. I'd kind of thought we'd cut across the ocean and wound up over some of this stuff before we got here. But I don't see torches, so let's get this out of the way. Oh, that's a lot of water. Huh. Very interesting. Okay. So, aside from not remembering what the movie was, and this is like, you know, going Scarface is, first of all, a long movie. It is. I thought I heard a sizzly sound. Did I hear a sizzly sound? Oh, it's just a spider. Okay. Hang on. Just trying to get all this done. I don't want to lose the world. Yeah, aside from definitely not remembering what else I tried to or decided to watch, it wasn't as long. Man, what on earth was it? Oh, this gets to be a little bit more of a delicate deal. But it, long story wrapped up, I guess, rather than short. I was feeling it a little bit last night, and not in the hey, I'm in a zone kind of feeling it, like, ooh, I'm getting a benefit here, but my body's working for it. So I took a Tylenol PM. I didn't want to didn't want to be up all night. I don't like taking those a whole lot. Just a regular golden apple. Don't everybody freak out. Um, so I had one, and then I went to bed. There, I watched like a new version of Macbeth, maybe from 2019. Again, I was not making clear assessments of what I was watching or what was in it, but this was like, for all I know, it was somewhere else, but it very much appeared to have been filmed in Scotland and with Scottish, apparently speaking actors. Hang on, let's sip here. And I didn't make it all the way through, but I certainly I've seen Macbeth in theater. I don't know if there's been like a previous one. There's certainly been a lot of like modified versions of Macbeth out there in movies and all that. But I was kind of wondering. This was like brought to you by the same producers. Now it just setting myself up to look look stupid. Brought to you by the same producers who brought you yeah, I knew as soon as I said it, it would totally be gone. But that was a little surprising because not a Macbeth style movie, whatever it was. It wasn't like a theater adaptation or anything like that. But the part I saw before I eventually did drift off to sleep was really, really, it seemed well done. It, not being a Shakespearean expert or really in a position to comment, I thought it was pretty true to the original Shakespearean language, but not in that high school theater kind of way where everybody tries to, make these glowing kind of speeches, wherefore art thou, O Romeo? It was well directed in that respect that the actors and actresses that I saw were doing the familiar lines, but in a cadence that was natural to the language of the scene. Excuse the hiccup. Natural the cadence of the scenes that they were in. So, when the witches were out on the thing, they would break up those, what you see as chunks of text. If you've ever read or had to read, in an English class or something, if you had to read some Shakespeare, you can get a monologue, a block of text in kind of one big chunk. And, I was particularly struck, it was probably about towards the end of what I saw. Lady Macbeth had just kind of made her part. They moved into, I think that's Act 2. Act 1 is out on the battlefield. Macbeth is fighting for this besieged King Duncan, and he loses a son along the way, but with fighting with valor, protects the. I'm doing this right, aren't I? Yeah, okay. Those trees kind of freaked me out. Fighting with valor gets the victory for his king, and he receives accolades. His lands, as a noble, are expanded. He receives some of the title and some of the lands and things of the people that he's defeated, and so they're things are going well. Well, the three witches, three from Macbeth, appear on the heath in after the battle as they're kind of Macbeth is dealing with his son. Dealing with, I think, identifying his body, grieving and kind of moving through all these progressions after the battle, and they break up the language such that it's not just enter from stage left, see witches on the thing, say all your lines, and exit stage right. No, they break it up so that those lines are still said in the same order. It's not. And that's why I said I'm not a Shakespearean scholar. I don't even read that much Shakespeare, although I have read quite a bit. But it's not something I just like crack open. Hey, I haven't read that in a while. Let me reread it. But they sometimes you get a feel that like, oh, this whether it's a screenwriter or a director is like, I'm gonna. This is what needs to be unleashed from Shakespeare. The true greatness of Shakespeare has never been known until me. It's like, people have been taking cracks at this for a couple hundred years. That's a little arrogant. So I was totally impressed that that whatever this version was, it was very true to the original work. Seemed to be just stylistically, but a little graphic novel really in some of like the battle scenes, and it wasn't. And none of this is animated. This is all real actors and live. But with some of the shooting and how they did the cinematics of the battles, was very well done. So I'll go back and finish watching that at some point when I'm not not just hoping to drift off into sleep. And I kind of chill. I was like, Shakespeare. That's not like a super shoot 'em up action. It's not something that's gonna grip you and pull you in type movie. So it was a good one to kind of as you're trying to digest the language. That kind of turns your brain, in between you eventually drift off. So I feel a lot better today than I did yesterday. Like I said, plenty of chills, and I checked my temperature. I've got an old home thermometer kind of, the way back in the day when savages actually put a thermometer in their mouth. That's the one I've still got from I don't know, whenever I became an adult and had okay, I probably should have a thermometer just in case. And the occasional times that I take my temperature, it usually reads low. And by the time I actually took my temperature eventually to just, hey, do I have a little fever? And again, it wasn't, nothing was what I felt, like, oh my, I'm burning up type stuff. It's more just like, oh, I know I'm unnaturally chilled, that kind of stuff. And so I'd taken it. It read 98.6, but again, that's usually I'm like a degree and a half cooler on that temperature, and I think that's pretty standard. A lot of times when I've been out and about and people have done temperatures in public, for whatever, getting onto a restaurant patio or something like that. The few places where I've gone where they've had those, they've all kind of said, "Oh, you're actually cool. We can let you in." So yeah, I did that. I'm kind of shooting us in the foot here. I know I said we've got an ender box. We can use it to load up, but we're pretty full, and we hit so many of those ships along the way. Since we're still close, let's turn it back and get back over here, and we'll just press on past everything that we've just done to try to get some new area. Very productive. We got a bunch of new maps to hang up on our walls. We got some various goodies to show off our storage area. And our animals miss us. We didn't even say hello. Hey, S'more, how you doing? He likes it outside, and there's mice and stuff. He can. Guava, how you doing up here? Oh, you're beautiful. Thanks. And Salty. Salty the sea dog. What's up, buddy? All right. Yeah, lots of rambling to basically say my arm, and actually, it wasn't so much my arm, my shoulder, and I'm like feeling it right now, and kind of the side of my chest, like my pec wrapping down to kind of just my it's not really your obliques. I don't know, just the side of your ribs, under your armpit kind of area. All of that was really tender through the night and yesterday. So I'm hoping that I'm kind of through it now, and we can put all that behind us. A lot of this stuff goes upstairs. We can put the TNT away, right? Coal upstairs. Upstairs, upstairs, upstairs. Random. Upstairs. Upstairs. Decoration, decoration, food. If we run these stairs, maybe we'll get hungry enough to eat a cod. So today I woke up. I don't have any of the headache, fevery, chilly type stuff. All that's gone. I think we done like that. I don't know. And I'm glad to show at the door. Right? That's not something that. Oh, we should have got frames while we were down there. Well, let's put these upstairs. These can go here. Oh, oops. Come on. What was I doing? Oh, this. Why am I here again? Books and the fishing rod go up into here. And like I said, I'll grab those up. A lure 3 and a luck of the C3. Then we can put it on breaking and a mending onto a fishing rod. That'll be it, fully juiced. Like I said, for potions, we'll want an actual. We'll want a good fishing. Oh, what we got here? On breaking. Well, that's kind of cool. Clean it up. Um, so yeah, we'll gladly just drop these together. And now that we don't have to worry about levels, it's so nice. Just okay, yeah, let's do stuff. Like I said, we'll want to make another bow. It's probably our next backup for our bow. We can still likely repair this one, just dropping an empty bow onto it, but all in good time. Man, I can't believe I have such a brain break on what it was that I watched last before I went to bed. That in and of itself, that shows you when you just veg out on a couch, it's so wasteful. Your brain isn't functioning at full capacity. You're not. And when people say like, "Oh, for class, I'm not going to read this book. I'm just going to watch the movie," or I don't need. You don't get the retention. A little bit audiobooks. If your brain is occupied on other stuff instead of words on page, you are certainly not going to retain as much as when you have to. Your brain has to see the words on the page, process them, from letters shaped accordingly into actual words. That must be a ravine. I kept saying like, what were we seeing there? That's a ravine, I'm sure. Yeah, so we did that pretty well. Top off torches since we're here. And let's get some sleep. Go back out on the road, the watery road. And real quick, while we're here, We are at 49 minutes. So that was a lot of info you guys may not have cared to know. I mean, again, it's a story everybody's going through, right? But you pushed my cat into the water, you jerk. I know. It's awful. Get over here. Come here. Oh, oh boy. Okay, you sit down. Where's that creeper? Whew. You okay? At least pets could. I don't know if they can anymore. They could drown. I've talked a number of times about how much I enjoy, or really enjoyed. I haven't watched his new stuff in quite a while, but Paul Source Jr. was great early YouTube influence on me. And in his I think in one of his tutorial worlds and then one of his just vanilla play worlds, he had some issues with pets along the way. And all done with that entertaining comic, lighthearted style that I absolutely love that he brings to his playthroughs. So I think we're kind of struggling in that our main. Oh, there is something that I got to remind myself. There's still something that we want to pick up, not only for our storage, just so we have it represented, but for its attributes. So while we're out on our aquatic adventure, we'll grab some of that. I was like positioning the coffee cup around the mic. And maybe I should just hold this in my mouth until I move the mic out of the way, so you guys don't just have to listen from like half an inch away as I swallow. For a second there, I thought I saw a star coming out in the sky. I was like, we just slept and got that creeper. It's not that long a boat ride. We just got to go around this point of land, up and past where the ship was, but around that point of land, we can maybe cut the corner here a little bit. We more or less know where we need to get to be moving on into deeper depths. Ah, the beauty of the open ocean. I think it's a little interesting, and I'm not really asking for this. It would be incredibly trolly, but maybe as they demoed in the Minecraft live preview of the Caves and Cliffs update, the underwater rafting on the underwater rivers that had more flow to them, and kind of looked more like a whitewater rafting type experience. But it's always kind of been wild to me that you have these thunderstorms, and so much of being at sea is storms at sea, and how that's a danger. And again, I'm not saying that it needs this, but the the aquatic update, when it came out and had the drowned and changed it from where you could basically go spend every night in a boat out on the ocean and never have to worry about anything, right? I could use that time to fish, without any real concern that I was about to be endangered. Now, I don't know if there's any advantage to any of these. to kind of be one at a time. Maybe that would be my hope. We're a little low on air. We don't want to completely forget. Just, again, kind of for sciencing here. Those look like doubles. How many do I already have in my... I got 16. And we'll leave a couple. Let's come back down here. That was just something again, I've talked a little bit about using for the lights. We have the nether lights, but before another thing that before we just completely blow by that stage of the game, doesn't hurt to grab a few. I don't know whether that fortune really helped us too much or not, but we got half a stack, and that's a good start. And is there a way to make a sea pickle farm? I know that. Hang on, well, another sip while we're boating. I know that bone meal on underwater sand will get you sea grass, and you can use that to feed turtles and all that. I've certainly used a lot of that for turtles and all the fun that ensued on them. But I don't know if there's a way to generate sea pickles. Be kind of fun thing to do. Definitely overlooked. Looks like another underwater guardian temple over there. Got loads and loads of those in this world. What we don't have real close at all is a true barbarian outpost. I know we've seen them. There's a couple of them out and about that we could go visit. But we'll keep looking for barbarian outpost near a guardian temple. If you can get those two together, we've already shown we can create villages, right? So we can make a village, but if we have a barbarian outpost and make a village pretty close to it, we can get the bad omen, bring it in, save our created village built for that purpose, turn around, get the bad omen again, and then have the guardian temple to get mining fatigue, which is another effect that you're going to need for how did we get here. So all good possible fun. So I think if we just check our coordinates here, so like -6 and 10, I think our spawn was at like a -150. And we're over about 1,000, but we're not far off from the mountains. And this is where we had eventually, I think, kind of wound our way back over to when we were coming back from getting guava and s'more. Now, is this the same one that we ended up at on the last little trip? Might have been. We'll check it, just since we're here. Pretty sure, though, right? The magma, we knocked a gold block off the top of that. Yeah, we're not getting out. So we should have just cut straight from this point, straight north, or more accurately, when we go back, just go straight south, and then we can turn when we get over to that island. Not have to fool around in this little bay. Well, I think, don't know for sure, but I think that means, that we're now into uncharted, completely uncharted waters, stuff that I don't know the least little bit about. Close. Maybe we'll go up to this little sandy island up here for the night. This is a bit surprising because when we started, we'd climbed up to the top of the mountains and I didn't see any ocean. So I kind of think, as we see that desert now, that it's going to kind of pull away from where we're at. Um, and this is just more terrain. I mean, we got lots of opportunities for sand. That's nice. It's just a tree and some dirt. I was like, what kind of structure is that? It's nothing. Nothing at all. A little bit of clay underwater there. That all looks just likely like an inlet. I'm not really, I won't rule it out, but I'm not really looking to go checking every single river that we come to at the moment. Just getting a feel for what's out there. So it looks as though we kind of just wound our way into a little bit of a bay here. When we took that little gap, this should be coming back out into our main sea or ocean. And I don't know if that's the same temple that we'd seen as we looped around it, or a different one. Probably the same, I'm thinking. Guessing that, if we were out on the coast over there, we would have seen just the outline of it as it was barely in range. Wouldn't be the strangest thing to have a couple of them close to each other, but I think the more likely reasoning is that we were looking at the same one and just kind of made a loop around it. Big desert over here. Not, that just looking from the coast may not tell us much of anything about what's in its interior, but at least from what we've seen so far, not a ton of temples. Now, we've been very fortunate in our closer to home ocean with the number of villages and villagers that are around, so not too worried one way or the other about how many more of those would be, so remote out here that wouldn't make a ton of sense to come back to them. But this is a chance to savor. See, and you guys were worried that we wouldn't have enough sand and sandstone. We can do a lot of sandstone building for our fortress. Should we do another ship? Is this a ship or is this one of the little bricky things? Looks like a ship. There's our drowned. Are you a trident wielding drowned? Because I'd be okay with that. Okay, it's gonna be new. Where'd he go? I heard you, pal. Are you stuck up in here, maybe? I think we've reached a point where... well, oh, there you are. You got a fishing rod. Are you going to add to my building awesome fishing rod of awesomeness? Probably not. Alright, back in the boat. What's the direction of adventure? Is going to be to the southeast, back the way we'd come. Our dot is... oops, southwest. It's like the desert is calling to me. Come into my sandy wastes, it says. Ah, that's interesting. Do we... it's probably going to be identical. That would seem to be identical. So let's go put one of these away. Hey. Kind of my own fault. If you know that there's drowns around, don't look at your map. I'm always a fan of looking at maps and making good use of them, but... come on, trident. Alright. We got one. Ooh, another trident. Where's it coming from? Where's trident guy? Why do I still have directions up? Where are you? Tridents? More tridents. Come on. Get. You're not the trident guy. Where'd the trident guy go? There you are. Trident? Oh, tridents. Aww. I did see some more of these shells up here. They are good for conduit eventually. Any more trident-wielding friends over here? Anybody? Was it Luck of the Sea we already had? I can't remember. It's not a max one anyway. We're not going to combine them. They're just fishing rods after all. Alright, let's get back to the boat. We got a treasure mount to sort out here. Oh wait, did we check for any chests under here? And now that we have our storage and all that equipped, we can conceivably start pulling down some. Ooh, these prismarine blocks. That's very nice. How we doing on water? Pretty good. Take some of that. Old dolphin. Alright. That's garbage. So that's prismarine. We actually need quite a bit of that. And you can get tons of it in the Guardian Temples, which we don't particularly need at the moment. Are you gonna make me really go all the way up this mountain? This better be good treasure. Oh wait, there's some more water in there somewhere. Yeah, Prismarine, you need to fully power the conduit, which then makes underwater stuff a lot easier. So we'll see if we can grab a few more of those. I didn't even know you could get them piecemeal like that. So we'll keep an eye out. We do have the Prismarine shards. We don't have any yet, but we've picked them up at a couple of the other things, and I put them in the sea chest. They, I think, can be put together to make more. This certainly seems difficult. Silly map. Now, was that the bay? That was the bay we were just in. I said, oh yeah, we don't need to worry about rivers. It heard me. It was like, okay, well, if you're not going to worry, then I'm going to send you back there. Just to teach you a lesson. Once we get the treasure, we can just kind of complete the... This isn't even the spot we want to be yet. But well, this is going to be cool. We're going to have a mostly desert map, which... Anytime you can get one, you know, the one that has the dark forest with some of the mushrooms and things looks pretty cool. Anytime you can find them with just a little bit of variety, I think is pretty cool. Up, over, up, over. Gather all this up just so it doesn't refill my pockets as I leave. Lots of sand, lots of gravel. All this stuff can just dump. We'll probably pick up more of it along the way. Getting a diamond. That's kind of nice. And we've already got some iron. We'll take that. And at least for the moment, we'll go ahead and take the TNT. Any other trash stuff that we just don't need? I think we're good. Okay, now we need to finish out our mappiness. Of course, this is just going to be like full on the mountain. Ooh, there's another ravine. Well, it's going to be a fine addition to our walls, though. It's always tougher on the desert, though. You gotta really make sure you get all those corners. Ooh, look at that. There's gonna be a temple on this map. Let's go over by this lava. That looks kind of cool. Now, is that another... Oh, maybe it's just a lava lake here. I was like, maybe that means it's another broken portal because it's just spots, but no, just a little look here. Got some horses out there. A whole bunch of lava. It's neat. Where'd that temple go? I don't want to lose it. There we go. Through the woods. Looks like we've got the map fully... Oh, is it going to be just off the map? Oh, it should be there. Maybe it's just not showing up. Maybe there's not enough contrast in it. Oh, I think we see just the front edge of it. Oh, danger of maps. Yeah, that's a shame. Look at that. We're going to walk right up to the front door, and that's all we'll see. Oh, well. Another chance here for fortune and glory. Start on this side this time. Get a couple of torches in here. Don't want anything dropping down on us. Anybody decide to follow? That was a little too high for comfort. We'll call that World 1 vengeance right there. Call it and be happy about it. That's not particularly a good spot. Alright. Back up to... We got a little skelly sound I heard. Oh, do we even need to bother with that anymore? I don't think so. Get rid of you. More golden apple. All that junk can go away. More golden apple. Iron. They're just teasing us. I think I'm gonna leave this diamond. As you guys may have seen, now that we're into nether chest, horse armor becomes pretty redundant. Even the saddles, it's like how many saddles can one person actually need? So we'll go from there. Just checking the corners of the map. I think we're all set here. So now all we need to do... Oh, it's actually pretty easy to get back to the water. Ooh, more lava. It's a shame that didn't make the map. Well, we're doing good. I would love to be fist pumping about either a trident or a enchanted golden apple at this point, but it's okay. I mean, we know we've kind of shot ourselves in the foot when it comes to the enchanted golden apple. We had the one in the first world with incredible good fortune, and we have accidentally blown up one of the treasure rooms in this world with the good fortune of being able to run far enough away that it didn't kill us, but sure didn't do whatever treasure may have been there any help. So no one really to blame but ourselves here. Just gonna check the time, get a sip. And I don't know that I'm going to try, depending depending on circumstances, but with our end chest now, I'm not going to feel like I'm in any rush to get back at the end of this episode. And, we can just kind of prioritize as we go. We'll drop off Sir. You guys seeing what I'm seeing, right? Haven't seen one of these yet. And we've got a silk-touch shovel. Neener, neener, neener. We've got a silk-touch shovel. Oh, I love it. We were just talking about how we didn't have enough spruce wood. So, two things here. First off, before we do anything, and I'm gonna try not to goof this up. Back to game. Nope. No, yeah. Back to game. Debug screen. Giant tree taiga. I think that's how it's named. I didn't even look while we were on the screen. Giant tree taiga. And negative 1116, negative 1307. Negative 1116. Oh, not 116. 1116. Negative 1307. Just very carefully here while I do it. Let's see if I can share this with you. Okay. Okay. Is it showing? I think it's showing, right? So this is, we haven't looked at this in a while. And I've added a bunch being afraid. I'm going to make extra sure to turn this off before we start moving again. But so this is just a refresh of where we're at and some of the coordinates that we've noted over the course of this world. We've got our spawn coordinates. We've got our Mushroom Island. Base camp is really our sandstone fortification / settlement. Igloo Villager Outpost. These are the two. This was the first one, I mean, number one, number two. So this is the one where we almost lost Salty. He just got stuck in the sea, right, before we named him. And then we went back and picked him up. So that was our first villager that we healed. And then we found another one and set him up. This is the one where we nearly died to some drown. when a whole bunch of them came up, we didn't have nearly the gear we have on today's episode. Longland Finger Land's End. This is that point, if we go pretty much due west, out past Mushroom Island, and then go into the next kind of bay in our sea where we had, I think it's actually where Igloo Villager Outpost number 2 is. Yeah, you can see the numbers. It's about even with it, but it's a lot further west. So we put a torch on the ground there. It's kind of we have cut across that land a lot, or we've boated around it. Then we found our jungle, going kind of in the opposite direction. So we got a jungle temple. That was the one we found right when we discovered the jungle. And this jungle spruce village, this was where we met S'more. We'll put that in there. And now we have Giant Tree Taiga. The one that I don't have in here, but I should really add to the list, just so we have it noted if we're under, expanding our basement or making tunnels or anything, we should really grab the coordinates of our lodge at some point. But again, just wanted to show you guys kind of what I've noted along the way. Now, I think that should... Why is it still showing up? Oh, I switched the... There. could have been bad. That's why we're making extra sure. So you guys should just see the game screen here. I'm going to F3 back out of that. So here we go. Giant tree taiga. We may go back now. I don't know. I'm so excited. Let's. There's not particular. Okay, so we got our cords now, right? So we can find our boat again. Let's just go cruise a little bit, see what all we got. We definitely love having the podzol. We can grab that and expand our giant jungle trees and maybe do some giant spruces as well. Maybe in a different area though. Like why would we wouldn't put those two together. As you can see, this is a great area for the mossy cobble. So we are now in business as far as kind of the quays and the various, kind of canal like interior areas where we've got that. We can do a bit more decorating, make those look a bit more natural. And you can actually make some mossy bricks, which end up looking pretty good. So this is, I love this biome. Again, I don't like to really say favorites. Certain ones hit me pretty well. Others don't. And within them, sometimes they're just cool the way that they create within the world. Other times it's kind of like, okay, well that seems a little underwhelming. But I think let's protect and preserve the couple trees right where we discovered it. But let's take a few more, and we won't go out of our way here. I really am just thinking, oh yeah, we never even had a single spruce log to mark our storage chest for it. We've got a sapling in there. The saplings aren't bad. I mean, we could maybe just switch them all to saplings, but that makes it tougher on some of the oaks, right? The dark oak and regular oak saplings don't look that different, whereas the logs do. The spruce wood doesn't look as different from some of the others, being, largely just brown, but it works out pretty well. I'd just rather be consistent. And like I said, if we want to come back here and harvest a bunch of spruce, which I've made it known that I'm a big fan of the spruce wood, the look and feel of it. Feels so wonderful virtually. We can bring scaffolding, and then we don't have to do this whole twisty, climby thing. Just boom up to the top, knock the bottom piece of scaffolding out when you drop the tree the whole way, and you're good. So, I mean, I don't know. I think let's leave it for now. I'm happy to have some more spruce. We've got some saplings back home, so those are good. We aren't really doing much with the mossy, at this point, and I'd actually rather come back once we have shulker boxes and can, make it an efficient trip, right? If we just jam up now and go back, we've, gotten a few more hundred blocks of travel since our last trip. We basically made it around that point of desert, saw a couple temples and another ship or two. But we're trying to discover, not just stop. I mean, I'm sure there was lots of cool stuff in the Amazon that if our boy Magellan had stopped, he would have been it, right? Like, oh man, did you guys know that there's guavas here? Let's just bring back guavas and become the guava kings of of the Western world, that would have been cool and all, but he wouldn't have gotten the circumnavigation prize. Okay, we don't need that. Let's do the old compare desert. It's the shape, remember the shape of that desert. Okay, this is different. Good. And this should be headed west. Right? Right. I'm getting there. it's so easy to get turned on your bearings. You know, I try to really do in all seriousness, try to keep a mental bearing of which way, you know, as I make curves and roundabout things, which way am I headed? You know, is this the same landmass as the other giant tree taiga back around the way? All those kind of things. I'm paranoid. I gotta check. Sorry, guys. Still good. You know, I'm not gonna stop being concerned for the well-being of the stream video after that one episode where, well, there's two now, right? The first bad one was I don't even think it was the coordinates one. I think it was like the one that where I keep the various cats. I guess it's the same one. It's just not scrolled down as much. But yeah, we had the world cheat sheet up in front of us. Crib notes. I mean, it's not. I don't want to get confused. People get upset about cheating. We're not doing anything but playing hardcore vanilla here. But I do like to keep a few notes on the world easily at hand that I can reference. Okay, these are the prismarine crystals that we talked about. We'll definitely want to get some of those. But we may have to... Oh, we don't need the same. There we go. And up we go. Remember how many dives that would have taken us back before we had respiration, all our tools upgraded. Would have been quite a chore. Alright, so we've still got to finish out this. Let's do that though, because we can put these maps away. Just go around this island here. We're getting close. And then you just, you know, when I'm selecting things that are going to go in my ender chest to help clear my inventory, it's various things that are not going to, are either full stacks or don't stack. More hiccupy goodness. Why did that not go in the spot I wanted it to? So, both maps complete. Spruce wood, full stack. Saddle will not stack. And I think everything else we can add to as we go. So we'll leave it for now. You know, sea pickles, probably not going to end up with a whole lot more of those. We could put them in. But we'll just kind of see, you know. And now that we've looped around the island here, we can kind of come back and skirt the coast. The giant trees in the middle makes me think of the sequoias, the redwoods. Really cool when they're, you know, the ones that stand up on the tops look a little doofy. And I think, you know, if I make them kind of a tighter grove, makes them look a little more natural. That, you know, just one-off standing out sentinel by itself is a little different. It's a cool look, but I love it with the big hills on either side, and you have like a grove in between where they, maybe a little more sheltered, and just had a chance to, not get caught by fires over their hundreds of years of history, or strong winds or anything that might have gotten to them. So, such a fun biome. Not the one we're really looking for though. The smart among you, or the experienced among you, already know, I'm sure, somewhat by process of elimination at this point, and my talk about complementary building materials for the fortress settlement with the scheme that we're using. What I'm talking about when I say that I'm still in search of one other. Come on. Alright, so if I were a chest around here, I would be so well hidden that nobody would bother to look for me. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. So now we'll just kind of keep wrapping around. We're, again, kind of veering back. We've kind of gone on a big outcrop around that desert, but we're kind of veering back to about on level with our spawn on the X, so going east-west, and we're, far now to the north of spawn. About as far, if not more, north as our home is south of spawn. So just kind of, finding out what we may have encountered, how our world would have played out if we just, on whim headed north out of those mountains instead of going south. And, somewhat that was dictated. We were kind of on the southern edge of that, but we did climb up just to get a view. We could have gone down a different direction. And, another one, there's no right answer when you're starting a Minecraft world. You just kind of go, and those decisions can have a huge bearing on what your playthrough is going to be like. So, alrighty. Sleepy. Betty. So now we're kind of cutting east, or depending on what we find around each new bend, each new loaded chunk. What are we on an island? I would think that since this is all the same biome, it may fill in here at some point. But if we end up circling and significantly headed south again, we could determine that our whole spawn area is just, again, continents, oceans. In the Minecraft sense, how those actually play out. And you can go online and kind of see how people will generate massive map. They'll apply like a mapping software against a game seed file to kind of create a large-scale maps of worlds. It's kind of the most that I've seen it in is illustration of how, like, where and how frequently nether fortresses and things like that appear in old versus new versions of the nether. Stuff like that. It's a good way to illustrate that. It's not very useful in your game, at least I don't think so. Others may think, okay, this is worth it. This gets me pointed in the right direction. But I don't know if you either stitched together or used a program to significantly map a large scale portion of the world that I'm going to generate. Like, 50,000 blocks by 50,000 blocks, would that mostly appear as land surrounded by water, or would the water, when it appear to be, kind of lakes within more land? I don't know. I never have really seen that or had a good feel for which way it plays out. I think I'm just gonna, kind of wave from the shore. Hey guys, it's nice to see you. But we can't expect to get much from these guys that we don't already have. Just more time. I'm much more interested in getting a feel for how the lie of the world is. Now, is that gold? I think so. Go get some gold blocks, right? Might as well, as long as we're here. Yeah. Now we, crying obsidian, sure. We got a box for it now, right? I thought I'd seen a chest somewhere. Was it just that other gold block? There it is. Ooh, clock. Talked about those. I don't need any of the gold tools. I don't need any of the rest of that. All good. In theory, we could tote a grindstone now, and as we came across things, just snatch the XP. I don't think it's worth the trouble personally, but it's a possibility. All right, this is going to be another. Wow, look at how well these show up. Before we do this though, let's go. Just go into land, clear our inventory a bit once more. I probably should have dumped some of this stuff into the broken portal chest, but that can go. Actually, we may end up seeing more of that kind of stuff. Let's put the pickles away. No new maps. You know what? We don't need all those. Let's put them away. Okay. Now, there's the two. If I can remember as we go down on these, and hopefully would love to find another trident. Yielding ground. Ooh, this could be a big area. Look at them all. Woo, boy. You're just like a big algae bloom of drowned. Here, gather up what goodies they have. Again, the shells are the hidden gem there for eventual conduits. Nope. Yep. Sure. Nope. And no gravel or anything. I forgot what we were really trying to do, but let's... Oh, you got a shell. You better drop that shell. Oh man, I don't want the kelp. Did we get it? Yeah, 3. Okay. Where'd these darker ones go? Is that just wood? Oh, we made a terrible mistake. But see how much slower it is even when you run out of air. And I thought about, should I just jump into a magma bubble? Here, let's do this. While we're thinking about it. Oh, come on. I want to eat you, little fish. Not sure if that was one I'd eaten already in terms of just overall food, but whatever the case may be. So, what? Don't try to shovel with a stake. I'd like to find one more chest somewhere in all this junk. There it is. Okay. So we can put that, those. Did I not end up with a kelp? That's good. Might as well. Unbreaking, don't need that. Okay. The whole reason, aside from the obvious wanting to get as many shells as possible. I wanted to get as many possible tridents as I can. I also really want to come down for those lights. That was what initially attracted my eye. And sea lanterns, now that we have Silk Touch, we don't break them and just get the components. We get the actual stuff. And again, coal. Do we really need coal at this point? Probably not, but it's at least got a consumable use to it, right? Now, is that the... Oh, there it is. That's... Where did that go? Anybody see a sea lantern? Oh, so much trash. Gold bar. That's a bummer. How did I lose it? How did I not get a full breath of air while I was up there? Oh well, I guess it's nighttime. Let's try to avoid the just pile of sea trash and that I created. Get over here to sleep, maybe? There's a barbarian thingy. Oh, let's wipe that out. That may... While I'm sleeping here, let's check the episode. Oh, we're out. Let's close that out here. Get our bed. Too much of the trash actually followed us in. Let's leave ourselves facing here. Next time we'll go into the barbarian outpost. I think that would be kind of cool. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys don't touch your face, as I'm like leaning on my hand here a little bit into the the screen as I get the slides up. Yeah, let's not do that. We don't want to spread disease. As always, guys, I thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you had as much fun as I did on this one. We did a little more boating adventure. We're getting to that a little bit fun of OP traveling around. You can kind of feel it though, right? As you get more and more well equipped, it kind of is. It's like the village, right? When we started the game, we went into every village looking for what may push us over the top. Now I'm boating past them, kind of waving, and hey, yeah, there's another village, but they don't have the new goods. It'll be the same with the ships and all that. That's why I like to play with the maps, making map rooms and gathering those up. It gives you more reason to come back and keep doing those for a longer part of the game. Don't forget that the people that are often out there going, what do I do in Minecraft? Minecraft's a boring game. If you just blow all the way ahead, or you use commands to get a bunch of netherite so that all your gear is top tier from the start, all the pieces of the game become more routine. I think it's a huge problem with games, and it's not a problem from a developer sense because they want you to keep hungry for the next game. But if you're trying to get full enjoyment out of games that you have, particularly sandbox games like Minecraft, enjoy playing when you don't have everything completely the way that it needs to be. And I think you'll find it's a lot more enjoyable. So we're gonna keep on our boat adventure here. We'll see how far we kind of go, what the shape of the land that we're connected to continues to reveal itself as, and what may lie around that next bend. But beginning next time, we'll start with a little pillager whooping, and that'll be job one. So take a break. I know I'm going to, and get out there and enjoy the world. If it's rainy, put on a jacket and a hat. If it's sunny, put on some sunscreen. Um, Depending on the fairness of your skin, either some short sleeves or comfy clothes, or some long sleeves to keep you cool. But do enjoy the world that you are a part of. Not just in Minecraft, but the real world out there too is full of adventures around every corner. So take full opportunity to seize those. Take care of yourselves and somebody else. As always, you guys are awesome, and I really mean it when I say thank you for being here. Until next time, this is Hambbage. See ya.